Hi guys, I'm testing out my Note 9 here on another model train video. This time I am filming the HO scale trains. As you can see, I got a train of box cars set up here. I am going to add a few more cars to this consist, along with my Walthers, Missouri, Kansas, Texas auto rack. This is actually the main reason why I got this auto rack, because it is from the MKT, which is one of my favorite railroads that got absorbed into the Union Pacific. The engine I'll be using is a Kato AC4400CW, which is in BNSF paint. I got these two at Train Pop's Attic in Bristol, Pennsylvania. I'm adding a few other box cars as well. All the stuff that you see in this blue box was given to me by a friend at work. And along with all the passenger cars that you see here, hoppers, some flat cars with tanks, I got 3 box cars, one from the Wisconsin Central, one from the Norfolk and Western, and here's a third one. I've never heard of this railroad before. I don't know if it's real or not, but it is the Empire Valley. Let me know in the comments if this is a real railroad or if it's made up. The wheels seem to have a little trouble moving. Like usually if you move the wheels like this with your finger, just keeps rolling, but it stops in like half a second, and that's not supposed to happen. I will try and fix that later. Right now, I'm going to get the BNSF diesel out of its box. I don't usually do unboxing videos, but let's get this open and see what we got. Instructions in bubble wrap. Not important. Well, the bubble wrap is. And this looks really nice. As soon as I saw this on one of the shelves, this is actually a used engine, not a new one. But as soon as I saw this engine, I had to buy it. Let me get this thing out of here and onto the track, and we'll get started. It looks like we got a couple of spare parts. I'm going to leave that in the box for the time being, as well as this thing, styrofoam. Put that over there with the not so important instructions, but the more important bubble wrap. Now the engine is on the tracks. I'm going to get started. Make sure it's set to forward. Yep. We're off to a pretty good start here. Alright, let's back him up and get the diesel coupled up to the boxcars. Trying to read the number there, 5608. I'm going to do a little bit of research on that engine later. Now, when I saw this locomotive, it was already weathered. I did not do this. And I also just noticed the front end. I don't know if Kato did this on purpose or not, or if somebody else did this before I bought it, but I like the way it looks, because this is an old locomotive. Although General Electric makes a diesel very similar to the AC44C100 called the ET44AC, the AC4400CW is no longer in production. Now, 5608 is coupled up to the boxcars, so let's get going. It's a pretty powerful locomotive with 12 small drive wheels. The smaller the better when it comes to pulling power. And already I hear something is derailed. Hopefully once it comes back around, we will get that fixed. It doesn't look like it's derailed, but I can hear something. So we're going to stop here at the crossing, and I will check. I don't think it's the front trucks, but I thought I'd double check that anyway. It sounds like it's coming from the rear trucks, and now that I'm getting a closer look at it, I can see that they were derailed. I did have trouble getting this locomotive coupled up to the boxcar because these 3 boxcars are Bachmann. I don't know about the rest. They came from a friend of mine, the same person who got me the AB set of New York Central F7s there. And the F7s are from Stewart's Hobbies. So I'm going to take a guess and say that all the boxcars that I'm using on this train, except for the Penzi, CSX, and BN ones, are Stewart's Hobbies. I'm not sure about the last 3 cars on this consist. If they are Stewart's Hobbies, I wouldn't be surprised because the couplings do look pretty similar. Sometimes you can tell what brand a model train is from by looking at either the couplings or certain details. Now hopefully 5608 does not get derailed again, and I thought I'd try out a different angle as well while we get started up again. This isn't the exact angle I had in mind, but you have to remember HO scale trains are bigger than N scale. I keep thinking they're a little bigger than what they are, but I'm still used to N scale. I'd like to use those very much because of the small size, which means you have more space to do whatever you want. Literally, with the amount of space I have here on my loop of HO scale track, if I were to make an N scale layout here, I'd literally be able to do much more. I could probably have like 7 tracks next to each other on a main line. Now, it looks like we're doing pretty good. I don't hear any of the wheels banging on part of the track, so it sounds like nothing's derailed. Let's speed up a little bit and see what happens. Everything still looks better now. I was a little worried that the train would derail again if we sped up, but thankfully that has not happened. One more lap for 5608, and then we will try out a different consist with a different locomotive. I've removed all the New York Central boxcars and added in 5 hoppers. These are also from the New York Central. I do have a couple of other hoppers, such as this one, but the coupling is different and will not work. And there are a few others with empties. I wanted all the coal hoppers on this consist to have coal loads, as you can see here. The engine I have chosen for our next consist is Rosie from Thompson Tank Engine, and I gotta say I really like the way Bachmann worked on this model, especially with the face. I'm going to put Rosie back on the tracks, get her reversed onto our train, and we will see if she can pull all 11 freight cars. I think she is able to. If not, we'll work something out. Whoops, that was by accident. Filming with a cell phone is a little bit more difficult in my opinion, but with the Note 9, there are some advantages, like with the FDRX 3000, whenever I film, if I turn to left or right, after I finish going to the right, it slowly turns to the left, and that kind of irritates me. With the Note 9, it doesn't do that, and I don't even need a tripod, and I got a steady shot here. Now, Rosie does have different couplings than all the cars on this train, but there is a little bit of a trick, and I will show you very soon. Now, Rosie is based off of an American tank engine, but since she is in a TV show that's supposed to take place in the United Kingdom, she does have the pin and hook couplings that they use frequently. So, what we're going to do is use a flashlight, which actually has a bit of a zoom, which I cannot do because I'm using one hand to carry the flashlight, as well as using the other hand to hold my phone while I'm filming. But I think I can still do this. So, as you can see, Rosie's not coupled up to the train because the hook is not connected to the knuckle coupler. What we're going to do is raise Rosie so that the hook gets into the knuckle. Now that my flashlight's actually on the ground, we can do some real work here. This may not be easy to do on a curve, but I thought I had it. So as I was saying, this may not be easy to do on a curve. So if I do have a difficult time with this, I'll simply get her onto a straightaway, but it looks like she is coupled up. So let's get back to the controls and get started. I'm actually not using the kickstand that I showed in my previous video when I was filming the N-scale trains. I actually have this propped up on a box. So I'm just going to go to the controls, and hopefully Rosie can manage on her own. I knew it. She's doing it. Yes. This is pretty impressive for a tank engine. And she does have a little bit of wheel slip, but she's still going, or was going. Come on, Rosie, you can do it. There you go. Perhaps if I speed her up, she'll have an easier time on this section of the line. Or not. I gotta take it nice and slow here, make sure she doesn't slip too fast, otherwise she will get stuck. On this portion, she's fine. Which is very odd, because this is where she's going up a slope. There's not much of a slope, but here she is going downhill. And here she is slipping again. But still, I'm very impressed that she's able to move all 11 of these cars by herself. That is very good. And this time you're not going to see my knee in the shot like you did last time. And despite the gap that you saw in the N&W and Wisconsin Central boxcar, those are still coupled up with their actual couplers. Well, this is where I am going to end the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.